What's up, guys? Doofus Mcdooface here, back with another unit breakdown. And today we're doing one of my least favorite, but best performing units in the game, Sea Serpents. Now, Sea Serpents are pretty much the highest damage unit in the game, but they're made of paper, and they fall off late game. However, I seem to win with them like 70 or 65% of the time. Yeah, 69.6%, 68%. Why that happens, I can't explain it. But let's just go through the basics. So, number one, it is a Pierce Swift unit. As I said, it does pretty much the highest damage in the game by Codex, I believe. It might not be the highest, but the Deep Coiler does 203 DPS. It's 252 to shot. It's massive damage, right? The main thing you're gonna do with your Deep Coilers and your Sea Serpents, you're gonna snipe sends, right? You're going to snipe sends. That's pretty much what they're made for. But in order to do so, you have to have the Deep Coilers separated from the units far enough. If that doesn't happen, you won't get the outcome you're hoping for. So, in order to have you snipe ranged mercenaries, you're going to need to be, I believe it's 7 tiles, but the farther back you are, the better, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 8. That's 9. I'm at about 9.5 spaces. And I think the farther back you are, just the safer it is, right? The safer it is that it does not get sniped, and that it does its job. Once again, what could this be good for? You're receiving a shaman or a needler on 15, or a witch on 11, or a hermit on 5. I mean, there's just so many waves that Deep Coilers are good for. Do they have any direct combos, like units they're good with? Not necessarily. I think I like them with Sakura. Just because, like, wave 7, a Deep Coiler is pretty incredible, just like wave 8. And then you're covering your 10 as well. But then your Sakura could die also on 7. Because it's like, you don't want this to get attacked because it's your highest damage output unit. But you don't want your Sakura to die. But that's besides the point. So I don't really like say there's any immediate combo that I use Deep Coilers with. I think the most optimal is going to be if you have an AoE build, right? If you're going for AoE heavy with like aquas, flower, masks, something like that, or Trinity Archer, something like that is going to help you snipe a hermit, right? It'll help to snipe a hermit. It'll be good in the early game for those single target waves. With the exception of 9. You're kind of screwed on 9. Let me just say that. But hopefully you have flower, death cap. So you're going to be easily able to snipe a hermit. As the game gets deeper, Deep Coiler, it's going to be good with 4 eyes, which, so you've got 4 eyesable units. You've got a God Sov, a God Doppelganger. When I'm saying God, I mean they probably have like Butcher or Tree of Life or Ocean Templar on it. So we can show something like that, like just right here. Right? Let's say we've got some Arc Tears. And just something like this is fun. Right? And they're sending me wave 12 because Arc Tears are not good at all on wave 12. Right? And they're sending 4 eyes because I only have 3 units. Right? As the 4 eyes ramps up on my high HP unit, as it does, but I am sniping the 4 Eyes, right? I kill the 4 Eyes, saving my big units, and that this would not be an optimal build, right? Just saying, it's not an optimal build, and I was not great on 12. But you get the point, right? Just like if I had Ocean Templar or Butcher on that type of unit, or Protector, you know, if I had a Protector buff, it would do the job in healing, hopefully. Healing while it's getting hit by a 4 Eyes. You also have like Needlers. Well, the Needlers are a scarier one to Deep Coil. One of everybody's favorites, not just my favorite. The Gate build. Oh, I was hoping to get Ocean Templar. No! I really don't want to reroll for... Oh, okay, I guess I can do that.
Welcome to Nova.
So a lot of people are going to send witches, right? They're going to send witches into your gates. 3,000. We're already on wave 13. So you're getting a big send here. What a massive send you're receiving, right? You're receiving a massive send on wave 13, even though you're really strong. Big ol' 1,000 send. I actually don't know if I have enough Deep Coilers here. But the hope is that you'd snipe this stuff, right? So now we've killed the 4 Eyes. They're not attacking. The witch is not attacking it. I'm sniping the sends while my gates are dealing with this, right? The Deep Coiler just amazingly lives. Ocean Templar Gates does its job. Whereas, I'd love to run that again. Love to run that again, but without the Deep Coilers. That was about 3,300. Okay, just about the same. Just to show you guys, and maybe I'm wrong, right? Pretty much the exact same cent. No, that is the exact same cent. Pretty much the exact same value. Now your witch is going to get off tons of shots. The 4 Eyes is going to shred through your units. And the shaman is going to be able to continue buffing stuff. So let's see if this is still a hold. Right? Because now your witch is going to be spawning stuff. Yeah. And we're getting through. We're getting through. Right? And I think I might have added more value, to be completely honest. But, so that's pretty much, all in all, what Deep Coilers and Sea Serpents do. They snipe the ranged sentence. Now, I've been selling some really good stuff about them. So what are the downsides about Deep Coilers? Well, being one of your highest damage units, you can waste them away, right? Like if I just send a bunch of lizards, that high damage output, I mean, I'm going to easy hold here, but the high damage output just gets wasted and is overkilling all this stuff. Right? So my highest damage units are just messing around back there. So, I don't know. Deep Coilers, pretty decent if you have ranged stuff. It's hard to say what you should send them because you're never really sending Deep Coilers. What I would recommend is that you don't send ranged mercenaries when you're playing against Deep Coilers, right? Like a big wave 15 send is coming, and you see this. Instead of sending witches, right? Instead of sending shaman witches, you should be sending tanks, right? You'd go like Kraken GKs instead. So then the Deep Coilers aren't really doing anything for them. So I guess what I'm saying is if you see Deep Coilers on the other side, as weak as they might be, as your opponent's build might be, to a witch, to a shaman, to a 4 Eyes, to a needler, it's not really beneficial to you to send it, and then it just all gets sniped, and it's like you didn't even send anything. Right? Like, look at that. Look at that destruction right there. Holy smokes. Right? So I just leaked the guy with 880. 880 by sending big ass tanks, right? I sent a Kraken because of the magic damage. The GK is also hard for the impact to kill. Beautiful send. Now, if I'd sent Shaman, Witch, let me make sure I'm not over sending what I just sent. I said 880. That's 320. 520. Yeah, we can do that. That's 860, right? So, same wave. Oh, 760. All right, 760. But we will see that. Four Eyes gets sniped. And see, it wasn't far enough back, right? The positioning was not optimal. Yes, I killed the Four Eyes, but I did not kill the Witches. Right? But what I'm still trying to say is that it wasn't as good of a leak, right? And I guess it didn't send quite enough to match it. But it wasn't as good as leaking 162%, not even touching any of the creeps on 15. So, if you are trying to send Deep Coiler, I guess Mimic, Centaur, Ogre, these are things that could get to it pretty fast. But you just hope that it also works with what the rest of the build is. Let's take a look at a game with Deep Coilers. This is a bit of a harder unit for me to describe because it's such a side piece unit, right? It's not your main unit. All right, so we actually have one right here. Awesome. So I started Trent with some AoE. Okay, and I'm going for the Tree of Life stuff. Nasty. So right off the bat, I can tell you why I use Deep Coiler in this game. I'm using Deep Coiler because A, I could get sent to Hermit, and B, they need a Four Eyes into Tree of Life stuff. In order to beat Tree of Life, because it's regenning, you need a Four Eyes. But if my Deep Coiler snipes that stuff, right? Now I've got two Deep Coilers, right? They were not able to send any Four Eyes, right? Now, I was still pretty bad here, right? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I leaked pretty bad. It was a big send. But where normally you might want to send a Four Eyes, a Hermit, they couldn't send that, right? They could send a Safety Mole and tanks. Once again, only a Hermit was sent on 14. No Four Eyes, no Needlers. So it prevented my opponents from sending what maybe the optimal send was. I did get destroyed, though, let me just say. Right. Do I have another game with them? Or maybe I didn't get destroyed? Another loss. Or one where I didn't play very well. So I used it on wave 4 for a beautiful Fiesta, right? I mean, its best wave is going to be wave 4. I did get a little unlucky here on wave 5, so this is one risky thing, where I was talking about the Sakura and the Deep Coiler on wave 7. Here, the units chose to kill my Zeus instead of attacking the Sea Serpent, which is melee. They were right next to each other, and they had to make a decision. Do we split tank and some of us attack the Sea Serpent, some of us attack the Zeus? Do we all attack the Sea Serpent? Well, they all attacked my Zeus, which I would have wished it was the Sea Serpent on that wave. Right? Now I have the Deep Coiler on 7. I'm chilling. Now I'm scared of wave 9. You bet it. Right? A Mimic. Brute. Destroyed me. I had only Swift. Beautiful send. Alright. Beautiful send. And then the Hermits, which had I spammed, right, and not suicided in this game, I would have been able to snipe some of those Hermits. Which actually I did kill some of those Hermits. I killed 2 of the Hermits with my Deep Coilers. So they were useful. But all in all, I'm starting to really like the Deep Coilers, guys. I think it's just a good mixture. Good mixture with units. You just gotta feel it out. Feel it out what it's good with. It's good with some magic damage, impact damage. If you already have Pierce, you probably don't need it unless you have Masks. But if I was to go through every wave as I have been, Wave 1, eh. Wave 2, really good. Wave 3, eh. Wave 4, really good. Wave 5, eh. Wave 6, really good, especially if you got a deep coiler. Wave 7, good. But you're overkilling stuff on Wave 7, so you do gotta watch out for the brutes. Wave 8, really good. Wave 9, eh. Wave 10, really good. Really good way to kill the boss. Wave 11, eh. Wave 12, pretty good. Wave 13, pretty good, especially when you're getting 4-eyesed. Wave 14, pretty decent. Wave 15, eh. If you have the perfect positioning to kill a shaman on 15, it's good. 16 is alright. 17 is alright. 18 is alright. So later in the game, it's not that bad. But you got to be careful spamming like 10 deep coilers, right? Very few games that is going to be optimal. But hope this was some help to you guys. I know I just sort of let it all out. Let me check one more time on my little page. Told you most of it's strong waves. It's Pierce Swift. Weakest waves. I mean, the weakest waves are going to be waves with a lot of creeps, like 7, but then it's you're the best type of damage. You're Pierce, just like on 16, on 12. It's really not that bad. Like, and I think maybe that's why they're good, is they don't have like the worst waves, because even like on a 6 or a 13, yes, they're not the correct damage type, but they're doing tons of damage to single target units. When there's only 6 units on both waves, they do a lot of damage. And they don't really have any weaknesses to supplement. If you can just cause them not to ever have to tank, right? Because they are pure DPS units. They might as well just be a ranged DPS that you do not want getting targeted, right? You don't want to split tank with a deep coiler, because the amount of damage, like a wave 10, heartbreaking, right? And yeah, sends. I mean, if you want to send range stuff like lizards, cannoneers, drakes to slow down the damage, you can do that. But that is if it's their highest damage and you're trying to slow it down. It's a risky game. It's a risky game, like on a wave 10, sending like 4 lizards. But sometimes it works. And not really any spells I'd recommend. I guess you could Divine Blessing one, right? You could probably Divine Blessing one if you're expecting like a 12 sen or a 14 sen, but that'd be crazy. But hope this was some help to you guys. I still want to get out this series on the units. Hopefully it's helping some people, and if it's not, I suck. So, see you guys next time. A few more things that I may have missed. People are probably wondering, Doofus, why are these built at the top? They're built at the top lane because they burrow. They burrow for 5 seconds. So that's why you want the creeps, your tanks and stuff all the way down here, so that they have time to hide underground and your wave isn't already getting attacked. So that's why you always want to build these at the top lane. Something to be careful about is building them in the middle, because if you build them in the middle of the lane, you can catch the split and automatically kill your highest damage units. So in a perfect world, you'd probably do some on the left, some on the right, if you have that much value, right? So just going right back to what I had.
What does this potion do?
Let's go wave 14. This will allow you to snipe both range sends. And now if you're far enough down the lane, the split shouldn't attack your dudes. But see right here, right? Right here they do start to attack. Whereas I still have the tank alive. But it's just because I had so many deep coilers, right? And they did already kill the range sends. But that issue can be way worse if you build in the middle, or if you build farther up, right? So just final thing. Once again, try to build like 8, 9 tiles back from the deep coilers, and try to avoid having them in the middle, unless you literally have an entire row of sea serpents or deep coilers. But thank you guys.